Hello, Liverpool fans! Don't miss out on all the latest news about our beloved team. On Liverpool Breaking, we bring you the freshest updates, transfers, and in-depth analysis about the Reds every day. Hit subscribe now to be the first to know everything happening with our team. Why in all things Liverpool, first and foremost? Liverpool and Newcastle in the middle of double swap drama. Guéhi Elliott talks near breaking point. The transfer window is often described as a roller coaster, and Liverpool's current pursuit of defensive reinforcement has made it feel like a ride with no brakes. What began as a targeted, strategic push for Crystal Palace defender Mark Guéhi has spiraled into one of the most dramatic sagas of the summer. Now, with Crystal Palace insisting that Harvey Elliott be central to any deal, and Newcastle circling in the background as a disruptive force, the situation has reached a critical point. According to multiple insiders, talks are ready to be ended, leaving fans wondering whether Liverpool will secure their man, or whether this saga will collapse altogether. The origin of the saga. Why Guehi? Liverpool's defensive needs have been well documented. Despite the emergence of Jarell Quansah and the ever-reliable presence of Virgil van Dijk, Arne Slot and the recruitment team have concluded that a Premier League-proven, athletic, and versatile centre-back is essential to push the club forward. Mark Guehi, just 24 years old, has become one of the league's standout defenders. With composure on the ball, aerial dominance, and leadership qualities already evident for both Crystal Palace and the England national team, Guehi fits the profile of a long-term defensive anchor. Palace, however, are no strangers to interest in their star players. They've resisted major offers for Eberechi Eze and Michael Olise in recent years, demanding top value whenever bigger clubs come knocking. The case with Guehi is no different. Yet the Eagles surprised many by not shutting the door entirely. Instead, they put forward a bold demand. If Liverpool want Guehi, then Harvey Elliott must be part of the deal. Elliott's value to Liverpool. For Liverpool, Elliott is more than just a promising youngster. At 21, he has already made over 100 senior appearances, demonstrating versatility across midfield and the right flank. His intelligence, creativity, and pressing ability align perfectly with the club's high-energy style. Arne Slot and the Liverpool hierarchy view him as a key component for both the present and the future. Within the squad, Elliott is seen as one of the homegrown jewels, alongside Trent Alexander-Arnold and Curtis Jones. Selling him, let alone using him as a make-weight, feels counterproductive to Liverpool's broader strategy of building around young, technically gifted English players. And yet, Crystal Palace are insistent. They believe Elliott could step into the creative void that may appear if their other stars depart in future windows. For Palace, acquiring him would not only soften the blow of losing Guehi, but also offer a potential leader for the next decade. Where Newcastle enter the equation. While the Liverpool-Palace negotiations were grinding along, Newcastle United spotted an opportunity. Sources suggest the Magpies expressed interest in Guehi themselves, while also holding separate discussions about reshaping their defensive unit. Newcastle, under Eddie Howe, are keen to add depth after injuries derailed last season's campaign. To complicate matters further, Newcastle also inquired about Harvey Elliott. Though unlikely to match Palace's aggressive pursuit, the fact that Elliott has admirers in the Northeast added another layer of intrigue to the story. Some reports indicated Newcastle were willing to engineer a double-swap framework, where assets would be exchanged across clubs, potentially creating a triangle of negotiations involving Liverpool, Palace, and themselves. In reality, such deals are notoriously difficult to pull off, and this one proved no different. Talks on the brink of collapse. As of now, multiple insiders say the talks between Liverpool and Palace are ready to be ended. The sticking point remains Elliott. Liverpool's stance has been unwavering. Guehi is valued, but Elliott is untouchable. Palace, equally, have refused to negotiate without his inclusion. The deadlock is total. Newcastle's involvement has only made the atmosphere tenser. While they haven't derailed the process outright, Their presence has encouraged Palace to dig their heels in, believing that demand for Guéhi could drive Liverpool to soften. Instead, Liverpool appear increasingly ready to walk away. Why Liverpool won't sacrifice Elliot? Liverpool's recruitment philosophy under Fenway Sports Group and new sporting director Richard Hughes is clear. Investment should strengthen the squad, not weaken it elsewhere. Trading away Elliot would solve one problem but create another, stripping the midfield of one of its brightest sparks. Elliot's tactical flexibility also makes him indispensable. He can function as a right-sided number 8 in a midfield 3, as a wide playmaker drifting inside, or as an impact substitute who instantly increases tempo. Arne Slot, known for his fluid systems at Feyenoord, is believed to have big plans for Elliot's role in transitions and build-up play. From a fan perspective, losing Elliot would also feel like a betrayal of Liverpool's identity. He is not only talented, but also deeply connected to the club's ethos. Many supporters still remember his tears of joy after winning the Carabao Cup, his relentless passion, and his maturity in representing the club on and off the pitch. Palace's calculated gamble. For Crystal Palace, the refusal to back down is equally strategic. Guehi is not just any defender. He's one of the most prized assets in their squad. They know Liverpool have defensive needs, and they're leveraging that urgency to push for a transformational player in return. In their eyes, cash alone is not enough. With transfer inflation soaring and top defenders fetching enormous fees, the Palace hierarchy believes that securing Elliot as part of the deal would be a coup that offsets the pain of losing Guehi. However, this gamble could backfire. If talks collapse, Palace risk unsettling their star defender without securing a replacement plan. Guehi himself, while professional, has ambitions to play at the highest level and may grow frustrated if blocked from a step up. Newcastle watching closely. This is where Newcastle's role becomes even more interesting. If Liverpool withdraw, Newcastle could attempt to step into the vacuum and test Palace's resolve with a cash-heavy bid. Unlike Liverpool, they are not burdened by the Elliott equation. Instead, they could offer straight money or other fringe players in exchange. For Liverpool, this creates a dilemma. Walk away and risk strengthening a top-4 rival, or remain entangled in a negotiation that undermines their principles. What happens next? At this point, 3 outcomes seem most likely. 1. Collapse of talks. Liverpool formally end negotiations, focusing instead on other defensive targets, potentially abroad, where valuations may be more favorable. 2. Late compromise. Palace soften their stance, perhaps accepting a large cash package with performance-related add-ons rather than Elliot. 3. Newcastle intervention. The Magpies make a decisive move for Guehi, forcing Palace to choose between Liverpool's resistance and Newcastle's straightforward offer. Sources close to Liverpool suggest option 1 is the likeliest. The club values discipline in negotiations, and precedent shows they rarely allow themselves to be cornered. If Palace overplay their hand, Liverpool will not hesitate to walk away. Wider implications for Liverpool. If the deal collapses, Liverpool will need to move quickly. Time is running out in the window, and the defensive market is notoriously tricky. Other names, such as Sporting CP's Gonzalo Inacio and Bayer Leverkusen's Piero Hincapié, have been linked. Both fit the profile, but would require rapid negotiations. Meanwhile, Liverpool must also manage squad morale. Elliot himself is aware of Palace's interest, and while the club insists he is untouchable, rumors can sometimes destabilize young players. Slot will need to reaffirm Elliot's role, ensuring his confidence remains high heading into a critical season.